PCOS is one of the most mismanaged and misunderstood conditions that affect women today. It's not just about having irregular periods or difficulty getting pregnant. It's a full body hormonal and metabolic disorder that can wreak havoc on your entire body. And women are often prescribed birth control, metformin, and ᴡᴇɪʟᴍᴜ. Those things never address the root of the actual condition. Granted, I understand why doctors prescribe these things for you because there's nothing else that they can do for you. This is a you problem. Now, some women are aware that PCOS can cause infertility, but what most of you aren't aware of is that it can obliterate all chances of you ever getting pregnant. Now, unfortunately, women are not properly educated on PCOS. This is why so many brush it off, thinking that they can deal with it when they're ready. I'll get to it when I'm ready. Or they just take the birth control or the metformin and brush the problem off. Or they take the ᴡᴇɪʟᴍᴜ because they're trying to conceive, only for years later to come by and they never get pregnant again. Or they end up having to do surgery, or some major health issue happened because their only concern was conceiving. They would brush off, some women would brush off the long, heavy periods. Some women would brush off missing periods. Because I have women that come to me and say, well, I have most of my periods. I would only skip one period here and there, but that's a sign that your hormones are imbalanced. That's a sign that you have PCOS. Skipping periods is a sign that you have PCOS. It can be from stress, but it's still hormonal. Missed periods is not a good sign. From you've been diagnosed with PCOS, this is a condition that you have to deal with ASAP. There are women that have lost both of their fallopian tubes, both of their ovaries. There are women who have lost their uterus, their entire uterus. There are women that have developed brain tumors due to PCOS. PCOS is one of those conditions that does not get better by itself. It simply doesn't. This is why it upsets me so much when I see overweight women bragging about still being able to have kids while they have PCOS, as if obesity isn't a side effect of PCOS. Your current size is a clear indicator that PCOS is present. Promoting a false narrative by saying, look at me, I got pregnant while I was being unhealthy, that's misleading. When you most likely took something or you made lifestyle changes to boost your chances of conceiving. And I'm telling you, these people would never tell you that. They would say, look at me, I had PCOS and the doctor diagnosed me with PCOS and I was still able to conceive. And they would never tell you that they took metformin. They would never tell you that they took ᴡᴇɪʟᴍᴜ. They would never tell you that they made lifestyle changes. But they would promote, look at me, I got pregnant. Now, I'm not saying that women don't end up pregnant with PCOS, but very, very rarely that happens. Very few women just happen to fall pregnant with PCOS without making lifestyle changes or without taking anything to help boost their chances. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but very, very rarely it does. And on top of that, not because you got pregnant means your PCOS disappeared. Pregnancy doesn't make PCOS disappear. I'm saying this because a lot of women come to me and they're saying, oh, I know women with PCOS that got pregnant. I know women do 2-3 times my size and they didn't have to change their diets to get pregnant. Okay, don't change your diet then. But I'm telling you, these women will never tell you. I have customers who have went through IVF procedures and they'll never tell you they got pregnant with IVF. They'll make you believe they got pregnant naturally. A lot of women who had to undergo fertility treatment to conceive will make you feel as though they got pregnant without trying. They will never tell you that they had fertility complications. A lot of women right now, today, had to undergo some form of fertility treatment to conceive, but they'll never tell you that they struggled with infertility at some point. A lot of women with PCOS will tell you, oh, just wait on God, it happens. But they'll never tell you that they took Clomid. They never tell you that they took metformin. They'll never tell you that they made lifestyle changes. You can get pregnant with PCOS, but the chances of it just happening is very rare. And pregnancy does not eliminate PCOS. Now, while it may improve some symptoms, underlying metabolic and hormonal disorders still persist, and if left untreated, can turn into life-threatening diseases, diabetes being one of them. So if you've been diagnosed with PCOS, you want to deal with it as quickly as possible. And PCOS, regardless of what anyone tells you, can permanently stop you from getting pregnant. PCOS can cause you to lose your fallopian tubes. It can cause you to lose your ovaries. It can cause you to lose your entire uterus. PCOS is not a condition to sit around and procrastinate on.